In the projects lived a little boy who grew up with just two toys. And the toys he played with were misery and strife. And the game he played was this game called life. And he still had the smile of a child. Trying not to cry. Born into life where hope was as strange as a $2 bill, and the thought of a chance almost made him ill. 'Cause chance to him was like a foreign disease. He prayed every night, but the pain just never ceased, and he still had the smile of a child. D was just barely 7 years old, yet etched on his face a story was told of a life filled with scars and deep bruises, just another black boy labeled as useless. Diagnosed with having attention deficit disorder, if only they could see that D was smarter than all the other boys that were in his class. He had street smarts because life came at him fast, and he still had the smile of a child. And when I asked D how his father was, D looked at me and just shrugged. And when I asked him about his mother, he said she was on drugs and he was left to care for his sisters and brothers. At 7, he was both the father and mother, and he still had the smile of a child. And though this story is common in America every day, it hurts me to bring myself to say that this young boy and his family lived right across the street from a school, a church, and a center in the community. And D would run up to me, just an innocent child, and beyond this hard exterior, I saw this beautiful smile. And I looked at his face stained dirty with tears, and I wondered how much hurt those eyes had seen in so few years. And he still had the smile of a child. And as I looked at this beautiful smile, somehow I felt as a community we were on trial. We have been accused and indicted of not speaking up and remaining silent. It was easy to say his problems were not our problems, even when we had the ability and the resources to solve them. In a society that always told him he was worthless, I wonder if anyone ever bothered to tell D he had purpose. Even bigger than that, and more importantly, I wonder if no one did, then why not me? The last I heard, D was now trapped in the system, all because no one would listen, and I weep for the smile of a child. Not taking the time with D was one of my biggest regrets. It wasn't just his issues that bothered me, it was my neglect. I wish as a community we could do it all over again, that each of us would boldly take a stand, that we realized that we had a stake in how his life turned out. We were mere whispers when we should have been shouts. Somehow we felt to see that our lives were all intertwined. It wasn't just his problems were mine. If I could do it all over again, I would let D know that he was my friend. And even though life had never treated him fair, in me he found someone who cared, and I weep for the smile of a child. Thank you.